Welcome to the Onikan Butchery. We are located at stall number 56B at City Market. Today we are going to be making some Mbuzi wet fry, and to do that we need, of course, our fresh Mbuzi here, and we're going to season it with some salt, and we're going to add some rosemary, which is going to help to remove that gaminess that goat meat sometimes has. You can also add some black pepper if you'd like. It adds a bit of spice to the dish in general. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put some oil in a pan. We'll add our Mbuzi, season with some salt, mix it together, then lower the heat and let that simmer until our Mbuzi is nice and soft. So we'll start with some oil, just a little bit, and then we shall add our goat. I've just cut these into sizable chunks. Sizzling nicely. Then we're going to add our salt. And then we mix that in also. Then finally, we'll add our rosemary. Goat has a very strong taste, so the rosemary really helps to reduce that. And if you don't have rosemary, you can use even thyme and just let that cook in there. We're going to add a little bit of water, not too much, just a little. And then we are going to cover this. We let that cook on medium heat until our goat is nice and tender. Mbuzi has now dried up completely, like all the water has gone, and it's nice and tender. So I'm adding some sliced onions, enough. And we're going to stir this in until the onions are nice and soft. You can take out the Mbuzi and do this without the Mbuzi, but I like it this way because the flavor infuses even better. So just mix those in until the onions are nice and soft, like that. So once our onions are nice and soft, the next thing we're going to add is some garlic and some ginger, about 1 teaspoon of each. And then we mix this in until it's very fragrant and you can smell it. So just toss everything together. If you need to add some oil, you can go ahead and do that. But just mix everything together. So one thing to remember with goat meat is that it's very gamey. It's a little harsh, the smell and the taste that it has. So you have to use a lot of fresh aromatics. That's why we have the ginger, we have the garlic, and we also use the rosemary. So they cancel out that harshness that goat meat has and makes it nice and enjoyable to eat. So once that has broken down, we are going to add tomato paste. Because we're making a wet fry, we need to have a bit of sauce. So the base for our sauce is going to be this tomato paste, and then we shall add tomatoes later. So we mix those in, like that. Yeah, nothing too serious, just like that. And then the next thing we're going to do is add blended tomatoes. So we add those. Then we mix. Beef cube and some curry powder. Then we add them also into the stew. Mix. We reduce the heat to a simmer, so about medium heat. And then we let the tomatoes break down a bit. So our mbuzi is now ready. We're serving it with ugali, and we're going to also serve it with some spinach that we have just sauteed with some onions, just like that. A quick tip, when you're making spinach or any leafy green, if you're sauteing it, once it gets to vibrant green, turn off the heat and just let the excess heat finish cooking it. That way you will not overcook your greens. And here is our mbuzi. You can see there's just a little bit of sauce to soak up with that ugali next to it. And then we'll garnish a little bit of dania, and that's it. We have our mbuzi wet fry, ugali, and sauteed spinach.